I think it's really important for people to dig in your crates, dig in your parents' record crates,
Yes.
put up a record player and go in there and just listen.
It's the ins and outs with Mackie.
Hi, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is the Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing you musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they are out. So our guest today is a writer, a producer, a DJ, and is widely known as the soulful lead vocalist for the legendary rock band Santana, who he has been working with for the past 20 years. While he is providing free music programs and college scholarships through his foundation, he is also rapidly emerging as a solo artist who has worked with many music legends, including Enrique Iglesias, the Black Eyed Peas, Maná, the Doobie Brothers. The list goes on and on. Here to talk about it all is Andy Vargas. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Jamie. Thank you for
How you
having
doing
me.
today?
I'm doing wonderful. Doing wonderful. Thank you.
So, Andy, music's been running through your veins for quite a long time. Tell us how this journey began.
Well, this journey began, at home, singing and uh, playing music and listening to music with my dad. My dad, Javier Vargas. He had bands. He was a mariachi musician, is a mariachi musician, and loves music so very much. It's always playing. Vinyl is always, was always spinning. Music was always in the house, and so it was hard to get away from it. So my dad, really gave me his love for music and his dreams and aspirations and passion for other, artists and singers, musicians, and just would sit down and be like, listen to this, but really listen to this, um, and as a child, you want to do a lot of things and stuff, but he really just gave me that love and that passion that I still carry now.
So, you started performing with him at a pretty young age, right? I believe he was a musician as well.
Yes, yes. So he had a mariachi band, and I started singing in his mariachi band around like 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
So that's where I, kind of just learned voice and, learning songs and both English and Spanish. And yeah, that was my beginning.
Absolutely. So, tell us about your relationship with Terry Melcher. I know that was kind of like when everything kind of started moving pretty quickly with you.
Yes, thanks for asking. Yeah, so Terry Melcher, the son of Doris Day, the actor.
The Hollywood star.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I met him, at a young age, and he was like my connection to the music business. I knew that like anyone that he would like, shake hands with and do business with, and were business people, and a lot of them were music business people or the movie business people. So I was grateful for that introduction that my mom made out of all,
Oh, wow.
because my mom did business, with him when, my mom's has been working as a banker for many, many years.
Okay.
So it was ironic how we met, and, I sang for him, and he, found an interest in my talent and loves my parents. And, my parents were looking for someone to guide their son as well, mentor their son. And we started recording. The timing was right. They were working with some of the early versions of Pro Tools,
Okay.
and I got to see a lot of that happen. And I got to see our engineer Keith Wexler work inside of when Pro Tools was just the audio recording system, um, and then he would have another program, a sequencing program next to it. So I was in early into the early recordings with the digital recordings at their studio out in Carmel. And we started writing some songs, and I sang songs that he had, and we collaborated with his friend of many years, Bruce Johnston of the Beach Boys.
Oh, wow.
And that's how really my professional career got started.
Sounds like you had a lot of really great mentors. What was the life changing opportunity that came to you in 1999?
Wow. Well, I was in Miami, and I was working with John Cicada. My A&R at the time brought me this like paper. It was like a yellow paper, and it was like a call sheet for auditions for the Santana group. And I flew out to San Francisco, went to San Rafael, where their office was at. And, I had studied lots of the music as much as I could, and, everything that I knew. And I jumped in with, some, major league guys. And, I sang and did my thing. The rest of the band, they at lunch, everyone kind of left together, and everyone was on their own, had some lunch. And um, I think the next day or two later, I got a call, saying that Carlos would like for you to come out on this tour with us. And so that was, I was like, wow, that's at the
That's
time,
so awesome.
the album was just starting to explode with the song Smooth. And we went out on a tour. We did a couple shows, and then Carlos was gracious to, he and Raul Rico, our conga player, may he rest in peace. They both said, you're in. And so ever since then, it's been a dream every day, a new dream every day.
I mean, was it intimidating to be associated with a legendary act like Carlos Santana? How did you overcome that?
I think as we go into any new venture or journey in our life, we have to believe in ourselves, no matter what we're doing. It's all like, what's our relationship with ourselves? So this definitely was like the early part of my life when I worked on doing my best. And if I didn't, then I would know where I was at fault. If I like slacked at, going over this or slacked at going over that. But you gotta know that that's what you can do, is do your best. And the rest is, you can't control, So yes, it's very intimidating to be with a master like Carlo.
What do you think that you brought to the table when you were first introduced to Carlos Santana?
Well, I'll let, he told me one time, and he commented, my energy, and my heart. Out of this was something he said, which was probably one of the best compliments you can get, because your voice is the closest instrument to your heart, so that's my job. You know what I mean?
On that note, let's talk about the Soleros. This is your brand, your band, your sound. Can you expand a little bit more on what that means to you?
Yes. So as we talked about my dad's influence in my life and the music of our culture, mariachi music, I was raised singing these songs, and I wanted to record some of this music in my own style with the influences that I've had throughout my life. And that's where, the name Soleros came from, was, R&B soul and boleros. And then also, Eros is the god of love, and the soul is us. It's like our human connection to the gods.
Wow.
I've been working on Soleros for about 5 years now, and I've released a few singles as the trend of music changed, to releasing singles. But I have some great songs that I look forward to, sharing with the world. At this moment, I'm doing some collaborations and working on my foundation, but during this time, I felt that there was a need to really give to those in need, that need, mentors, inspiration, through music. And I have an avenue to do that through my foundation. So I just, started putting a lot of energy. I felt the foundation kind of tugging at me a bit more. And it's been a blessing because that also gives to me what sometimes other things in my life in music business doesn't. I'm really happy to be, on with Mackie. If I may, Mackie has been a huge supporter of my foundation, my art, my music, and I'm very grateful to you and everyone at Mackie. Just wanted to say that.
Oh, thank you. We're very grateful to have you here and talking with us today. So, Andy, you prepared a couple of songs for us with Kata. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yes, yes. So I'm prepared some songs for you guys. Two of some of my favorite songs, originals. One song is called Duio, You and I. The other one is We're Still Here Together, which is a collaboration with my brother Frankie J. Except he, I'm singing his parts, but he does an amazing job. If you listen to the recording, you go to Spotify. Duio is not released yet. That's one of the songs that I've got in the vaults, simmering, ready to release sometime. But I'm also playing with my good friend and writing and production partner, Keita Masuno. He's an amazing guitar player, and we just got together, and it's like when I first met him, he just started touching the guitar, and boom, you just start like getting inspired and ready to sing. So that's why I had to make sure like everything's recording anytime we get started. But then sometimes they're like, wait, this is too good. We've got to get all these things done right. So, we got together once to work it out, and then we worked out the material, and then I said, wait, you know what? Let me just set up the cameras a little bit better next time. So then we got together and put this together for you and Mackie.
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andy Vargas, and this is Keita. We're very honored to be here and to do this performance for Mackie. And we've loved Mackie so much for the many, many years. And we are very honored to be able to do this performance for you. So this song is called Tu y Yo. Na 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 na. Sabes, cerca de ti mi inspiración despliega las alas y las estrellas bajan solas cuando me hablas. Como poema tus palabras encienden esta pasión en mi corazón. Tú no sabes, mi vida está escrita en tus manos. Eres todo lo que alguna vez he imaginado. Yo sin ti no sé, me olvidaré de vivir. Escúchame, que tú y yo juntos por amor, 'cause I believe in you. Tú y yo juntos por amor, abrázame, bésame. Tú y yo juntos por amor, hold me close and just believe my love is true. Mira, en esta noche el cielo azul escribe tu nombre. Abre las flores a tu paso y el sol se esconde, porque tú brillas suficiente como para iluminar todo el lugar. Digo, mírame, y en mis ojos hallarás amor sincero. Tenerte entre mis brazos, lo único que quiero. Yo sin ti no sé, me olvidaré de vivir. Escúchame hoy, escúchame, que tú y yo juntos por amor, 'cause I believe in you. Tú y yo juntos por amor, abrázame, bésame. Tú y yo juntos por amor, hold me close and just
My love is true. Oh, 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 tú y yo, juntos por amor. 'Cause I believe in you, tú y yo. Abrázame, bésame, tú y yo, juntos por amor. Hold me close and just believe. My love is true. Juntos por amor. Juntos por amor. Oh, oh. Juntos por amor. Juntos por amor. Aléjalo, aléjalo de ti. Eso extraño, extraño el sentimiento, dolor y resentimiento. Andan ya sobrando aquí. Digo, mira, no me digas tú que no lo veo vencer. No, 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 no. Que no sana tus heridas, aprende para ganar en la vida. Solo basta con querer. Juntos por amor, tú y yo. Mamá linda, escribe tu nombre en el cielo. Oh, juntos por amor, tú y yo. Digo, mírame, y en mis ojos hay amor sincero. Hay amor sincero. Oh, oh. Juntos por amor. Juntos por amor. Juntos por amor. Juntos por amor. Siempre por ti. Thank you.
I want to go back and talk about the Andy Vargas Foundation. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
So this team aims to mentor and inspire youth through music. Can you share with our listeners more about that?
Sure, sure. So I went through some amazing trials and tribulations in my life, and I ventured into a life of sobriety. And in that, I have, wanted to share my journey, my experiences with others. I focused on youth because I felt when I got up and I talked to my first, group of grade school students, I was nervous, right? I was really nervous, like more than I've ever been in a really long time. But the
That's hard to
way,
believe.
yeah, it's crazy. We've been in thousands of people and, huge stage, but you could feel like what you're saying is really making a difference. So that gift I wanted to nurture, and I'm grateful to, all those who teach and, write curriculums, and the student has to have a sense of willingness, right? But sometimes they don't. So how can you reach them? How can you reach them? And I know that they're listening to some music that's touching them. I know they are, right? It's a universal language. The type of music you can't control, but I know they're listening to music. I know that they're watching videos and, YouTube, social. I know they're flying in social media. So how can we utilize, the best talents that you have to touch those that are kind of like, stepping back from you, that take a while to warm up to you, trust you, because maybe they've been through some hard situations in their life. They don't want to trust. They just want to be them. That's my goal. That's my goal. My goal is to utilize music to be able to get there. Now, whatever that is, right now, my dad and I are teaching voice, and it's great. We've got some amazing, amazing students. When you guys are watching this, los quiero mucho. You know what I mean?
So you offer free music programs. I've read you even offer some college scholarships.
Yes.
And your team also provides other resources, including instruments for home use, so that they can stay committed. Aside from having the gear, what are some other challenges you've seen young students face when it comes to staying involved in music programs?
Sometimes it's hard when they don't have the support at home. So, the cellular connections. Most children have phones now, whatever kind of phone it is. So that's another program that I'm going to build, is to do everything and just what they got, their phone. We talk a little bit about how wrecked up the guitars, or some instruments are unplayable, but some aren't, and we can use pieces of things. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun too, because, I get together with my, guitar techs and drum techs and stuff, and lately just guitar techs. And they were like, okay, we can do this with you. We can come and have a good time, and, just, hang with some food and everything, and fix guitars.
What experiences or lessons have you learned, Andy, that you hope to pass on to students who are just beginning?
Listen to what you love and follow your gut. Like, by really trusting yourself in everything you do is the greatest advice that I can give anyone, and if it's not for you, let it go. If it's not for you, let it go. Don't chase it. Don't try to make it work.
Just keep moving forward. Sometimes
I think people overwhelm themselves, and then they end up putting something out there, and it just, there's without a plan, and it's there, unfortunately, and it's okay. But if what we're after is to try to expand our audience, then there has to be a plan and support, people kind of guiding you in that as well. And I mean, there's a lot of amazing social media tricks and stuff, but I think that a good plan behind, and not just a one single plan, maybe, a good year, 2 years of a plan that you really stick with, and everything deviates, but you still gotta stick with it, and see what other people have done. I don't think that anyone really has created, their audience the same way. Like, everything happens in like a different way. Like, you never know, like an opportunity happened here where your song got into there, and all of a sudden opened it up, and all of a sudden all these people are now following you because they saw you from here, and boom, that was your start. Your everything happens grassroots here, practically.
You're a great inspiration on how how important it is to perfect your craft. I mean, you've been doing it since, you said, 7 years old, and look at how far you've gone. And I'm sure you're still learning today. New things. Speaking of which, you started writing songs and performing at a really young age in your father's mariachi group. You were exposed to tons of different genres of music. How important do you think it is for our youth to be exposed to other genres and music to help influence their own sound and style?
I think it's of the utmost importance to dig in and dig in your crates, dig in your parents' record crates.
Yes.
Put up a record player and go in there and just listen. I think it's really important for people to listen to music, because I think that if you listen to, music in the past, you not only hear the creativity and the recording styles, the songwriting styles, the messages in the music, and messages are important, and you decide what messages you want to listen to. You decide what actions you want to take. So there's a lot of music out there. There are a lot of recordings out there with messages that, are, I wouldn't say are of the most positive direction, but it's this open expression and everyone could create whatever anyone wants,
That's right.
but I think what we have to do is like, and even me now as a father, is we have to instill, the proper hearts inside of our kids. They need to, see and watch through your actions, um, and if they know, maybe I shouldn't hear that, but sometimes it's hard because I hear things, I'm like, and I hear my kids singing, I'm like, what did you just say? Right? And so it's hard because sensory is not really
Times are changing for sure.
big anymore, like remember we said like explicit lyrics, like now it's like what?
You don't even know
You
anymore
don't
what you're
know.
listening to. So not only do you have your band, but you're also a phenomenal DJ that's taking over the live stream world. Andy, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Thank you so much. Well, what I've decided to do, just because streaming online when you're DJing and stuff, it gets a little bit funny, but just lately my friends, all of my musician buddies, they've changed, or they've added to their daily life and the things that they do. And some of my friends, they cook really really good, so they started uh, cooking tacos for families and friends. And then, I mean, and we're talking about a pretty good large community, because when we go out and play music, we have a following,
Yeah.
um, and then they, some of them are in different churches and things, but we started going to different locations all throughout like Los Angeles and stuff, and doing kind of like a pop-up taco pop-up, and I would go and show up and I DJ just like I used to. And I'll tell you, like, COVID's probably the only thing, or the COVID time of our life here, meaning of space and time when nothing's open, and the music business is come to a pause, been able to go out and just rock out, and I mean, obviously everyone's keeping their distance and things, but people need to eat, right? People need to eat, and you could come in and just wait in line and pick up your stuff and go. But as people are waiting in line, the line gets long because there's 6 feet separating everyone. So I'm just rocking out, playing music, and it's been great because it's not pretentious. So where like everyone's like waiting to have like a crowd get together and all follow your one move. It's more so you have to play kind of like to everyone's vibe, so it's like
Yeah.
festival playing a little bit. And I just really enjoyed getting back into it. And really where it is just like mixing music, mixing a bunch of different styles of music, digging into like a bunch of different files. A lot of my friends growing up are all DJs. My buddy Art Valdez, and my cousin Ben. We all DJed, and we shared later on, sharing files and stuff. And so I have a lot of files still to go through of old stuff that like I was like, wow, where did this come from?
How much of the music from your youth influences the music that you play as a DJ?
All the time. Yeah, like I dig into the old school, the hip hop, the classic hip hop, because if you could do that stuff, then you could just dip into a lot of the new stuff. I love house music, I love funk, I bring in like some oldies sometimes, I put like beats to the old,
Nice.
old, anything that I could feel it with soul, and it's, sometimes I won't notice it. I'll be like, wow, 6 hours went by and I'm still rocking, but they
Wow.
keep feeding me tacos.
How can people watch your live stream, Andy?
So right now on my Instagram, what I do is I show up. I show up every Friday, every Friday around like 7 o'clock. So it's not as consistent as I will make it very, very soon, and doing a live stream in here. But my Instagram and Twitter, Instagram and Twitch is Andy Vargas Official. So if you like me at Andy Vargas Official, follow me there, subscribe, and whenever I get something organized for you, it'll pop up. And I'm gonna have guests. You know, I've got my camera thing happening in here. It took me a little while, but Jamie, with your help, gracious to you know, to help give me, you know, the insights, because this is a new world, and you know, I could hang out with Pro Tools all day and night, you know, but you know, for this new broadcasting world, it's quite a new venture for me.
It definitely is a new venture, but we're all here to get through it together, right?
Yeah, and I'm so glad to be able to do something here like this with you guys. I'm, you know,
Yeah.
talking through
Speaking
my
of which,
knob right here.
we go way back. Tell us some of the ways that you and Mackie have crossed paths.
Oh, well, I first met someone named Jessica Briner um, when she was working with Behringer, and that was way back in the day. And I had the first my mixer. It was the 16 channel mixer. Um, and I became really good friends with Jessica. She went from Behringer over to Mackie, and we just, you know, we totally you know, hit it off. And I you know, may she rest in peace. She is not with us anymore, but she since Behringer, she just believed in me. But when she got behind, she just got behind you and stuck with you, you know. So when she went over to Mackie, you know, she brought me with her, you know, and I was like, listen, I love Mackie. This is my unit. I use this all the time. It's my hardcore unit. But she said, let's see how else we can help you and help your foundation. So that kept me in, you know, collaborating, you know, with Mackie. And I started my foundation in 2015, and I needed some serious help because things really didn't turn out with some donations and things to where we had the correct, you know, funding for, you know, the gear and the students, and it you know, things were happening, and we really, the kids are ready to go, the parents are ready to go, and I was in a crunch, and she came and just totally hooked us up. And she, you know, said, you know, I want to help you guys out here. And so my foundation had the proper recording gear that we needed. And I thank her so very much. And later on, we've been able to, you know, collaborate and do some performances and things. And every year at NAMM, you know, coming to visit you guys there, it was always so warm and loving. And this year, or this last year and the year before, listening to all of, you know, your guys' new sound and audio in-house, you know, gear, especially all of, you know, the recording gear.
You have a big knob on your desk, right? The
Yeah,
Big
I
Knob
do. I
Studio?
have a big knob right here. The, you know, earphones, you know, the headsets, you know, the DI boxes, like all, you know, I've got, you know, the headphone box down here.
Wow, you're a true Mackoid.
Yeah, I'm a Mac. Yeah, totally. And you know, and there's definitely some other pieces that I've been having, you know, my eyes on. And I love how you guys, you know, really just you really listen to your musicians, you listen to your artists as to what, you know, we need, and you know, really serve us that way, because there are a lot of for example, the big knob, it has everything. Like, you know, you could just give that to you know, a student to be like, let me give you Studio 101, you know, and big knob's got it. You know, you could send, you know, a mic and headphone, you know, line to a closet in a bedroom. I used to do. So this is, and then you could, you know, you could talk to them through the microphone here on the big knob. You know, you've got
Yeah.
2 headphone inputs, and then also connects right to your computer. So it's just the go. It's like the go unit. And by the way, it records and sounds really, really, really good.
Ooh, baby. She was straight out of the barrio, Had a body like a supermodel. Fell in love, she was crazy. And I knew that she had my baby. She was locked inside my corazon, and I couldn't bear to let her go. She was hood, but she was blazing, and the love I just kept chasing. You gave me something to do, so I fell in love with you. Baby, you taught me something to make me feel nothing. When you have something good, you're not supposed to let it go. That's what my mama said, and now I'm gonna tell you we're still here together. No matter the weather, whatever, whatever, through us or for better, like birds of a feather, baby, now and forever. We're still here together. No matter the weather, whatever, whatever, through us or for better, like birds of a feather, baby, now and forever. She said I got what's only good for you. She kept my game up, and now I wanna thank her. She got me feeling like we're long overdue. Had to step my game up, hit it with the change up. Hold up, let me figure what I'm doing. I don't want, it's just the way we gotta do it. Shown up to keep her at a distance. I wanna make a commitment, baby. Sweet baby, you're such a showstopper. You're such a jaw-dropper. With them stiletto heels on. We're still here together. No matter the weather, whatever, whatever, through us or for better, like birds of a feather, baby, now and forever. We're still here together. No matter the weather, whatever, whatever, through us or for better, like birds of a feather, baby, now and forever. You came into my life, you made me realize, open up my eyes to a love that's blind. Through a game of tug of war, you opened up the door to me, amor. We're still here together. No matter the weather, whatever, whatever, through us or for better, like birds of a feather, baby, now and forever. We're still here together. No matter the weather, whatever, whatever, we're still here together. We're still here together. Ooh, baby, yeah. We're still here together. No matter the weather, whatever, whatever, through us or for better, like birds of a feather, baby, now and forever.
Thank you.
It's the ins and outs,
Takes.
ins and outs
Takes.
with Mackie.
So, Andy, do you have any secret hidden talents not pertaining to music?
Yes. I'm a golfer.
Oh, you did a golf classic. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So my good friend George Lopez had a golf challenge, and
What was the golf challenge, if you don't mind me asking?
so the golf challenge was to raise money for his foundation, and he has a great foundation to help kidney disease. It's the George Lopez Foundation.org. Check it out. And so what I did was I went out to the park. I'm like, well, gosh, what do? I got to do something that's like, good. So, I mean, I went up on a, a bench, a park bench. And then I put, it was like a beer pong, board, like really far. And I mean, it was a distance. And so they give you this like little green mat, and I put the mat on the bench. It was like a stone bench. And so I was hitting these little like wiffle balls, to try to get into the the little cups, And so I did it like 2 rounds and I got one. It was, but it was so hot that day. Like it was like seriously hot. It was one of those, hot days that LA would have. And so I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm getting really, really close. So I put the cups like around, thinking that I was gonna get it in, like I was gonna get it in one of the cups that were surrounding the beer pong, but I got it, in that next round. But if you go onto the George Lopez Foundation Instagram, you could see they've got these like tricksters, these golf tricksters that are just like doing crazy stuff. The ball, with the club, and then they're passing it, and then they're passing it, and they're
Oh my gosh.
doing these like TikTok videos, and then finally the last ones will get it, and then just smack it, like, and they're out in the big, the golf casino in Vegas.
I love that. That's so awesome. How fun. So, you've recorded with a ton of amazing artists. What is one of your most memorable moments you still think about today?
So I got up on stage with the Black Eyed Peas and Stevie Wonder at the Avalon
Wow.
in Hollywood, and Carlos came up and played. That was, and I got up and I sang Black Magic Woman or something like that. No, I sang Evil Ways. Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Wow. So, Brad Pitt used to be the costumed mascot for El Pollo Loco. I don't know if you knew that, but he did back in his youth. Did you ever have an odd job?
An odd job. No. As a matter of fact, I worked in a record store. I worked in a record store.
That's cool. Right on, right on.
I organized cassettes, and I stocked the vinyl. So it's not
I'm
an
sure
odd.
that came in handy as a DJ.
Oh, I'm like, I want this. I want this. Yeah. Oh, it was so much fun. The music store was called Music Madness in my hometown of Watsonville, California. So giving Watsonville shouts.
All right. So, Andy, what would be on the gag reel of your life? You know, those moments when the crowd bursts out into laughter.
Well, that's a good one.
You're like all these moments passing through my mind right now.
Yeah. Well, like, one time I was on stage, and the thing is, I don't think many people saw it, but a few people did right in front of me. And I like to go out on the speakers, the subs,
Okay.
those speakers that are like right in front of the stage.
Yeah.
And I go and I walk the subs, and my foot one time, I was singing like Corazón Espinado.
Ooh.
My leg went right in the middle of the separation of two subs.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, phoom. But it was interesting because I pulled right back up, and then I caught the verse, or the next line. So I don't think the band took notice, but I definitely know that a few people in front of me were like, "Oh, wow."
That's funny. So you get to pick one mythical creature. Do you pick a unicorn, a dragon, or one of your own?
Ooh, I like a dragon.
Oh, all right. Everyone
Yeah.
loves dragons. Last but not least, Andy, who would play you in a movie of your life?
Oh, wow.
I love that question.
An actor that is one of my good friends, and I love him, very, very much. His name's Frankie Quinones. He's the Chola Fit Creeper. I think that if he went ahead and did the goatee, and if you guys haven't checked him out, go check out Chola Fit Creeper and Frankie Quinones. He's got so much that so many different characters and so much content that'll just lighten your soul and fill you with so much joy.
Awesome. Well, you've really filled us with a lot of joy today, Andy. Is there anything else you want to share, or websites, upcoming streams, shows to share with our listeners today?
Some of my special moments, with my mentor Carlos. We I just wanted to share. He's taught me so very much. He and his wife Cindy Blackman, and the rest of our band members, and his son Salvador Santana. You've got to check out his music, everybody. I've learned so very much, and have been blessed so very much by the Santana family. So very grateful to have lived the life that I live, and continue to live a dream every day. I'm grateful for my family, my wife, my kids. My music keeps me up late, and they wake me up early. So I get to live like a real life, right now. So I'm grateful for that. And you can go to Andy Vargas Official on Instagram, or Andy Vargas Official on Facebook. And you could read up about me on andyvargas.com or visit my foundation. And I'd like to say, if anyone, is looking for, a taxable um, donation, a tax-free donation, and maybe in-kind donation is the term I was looking for, please go to andyvargasfoundation.org. And if you have an instrument that's laying around, please email us at info@andyvargasfoundation.org. And I'm also DJing. Someone just asked me if I could put together a little a show for them that they would stream, and I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? For like your house party? She said, yeah, yeah. Girlfriend's getting married, and and so we're having a wedding shower for her, and we want see if you perform. So you can also go to my website and email us if you ever want, like, to kind of interact, collaborate, or what have you. um but yeah, I mean, that's about it. Thank you so much, Jamie, for you and Mackie to have me on here.
This was a pleasure, Andy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Once again, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is The Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing you musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they are out. Until next time, Mackoids.
It's the ins and outs, ins and outs with Mackie. It's the ins